Carnegie, known as the Man of Steel, was born November 25, 1835 in Dunfermline, Scotland. Carnegie was a Scottish-born American industrialist who led to great expansions of the American steel industry in the late 19th century. In Carnegie's young life, him and his father immigrated to the United States in 1848 due to a big general economic downturn they were facing. When they arrived to America, they joined a Scottish colony of friends and relatives in Allegheny, Pennsylvania. Young Carnegie began working when he was 12 in a cotton factory as a bobbin boy. This sparked his interest in becoming Americanized, and he soon began to educate himself by reading, writing, and attending night school. When Carnegie was 14, he became a messenger in a telegraph office where Thomas Scott, a superintendent of the Pennsylvania Railroad Company, made Carnegie his private secretary and personal telegrapher in 1853. This made Carnegie's status more well-known, and eventually, by 1859, he aided Scott in becoming superintendent of the railroad's Pittsburgh division. Soon after Scott's fame and success, Carnegie met more and more steelworkers during his trips to Britain. He realized the future demand for steel, so he left the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1865 and started managing the Keystone Bridge Company. When Carnegie was 38, he began solely concentrating on steel. He worked near Pittsburgh, the J. Edgar Thomson Steelworks, which eventually became the Carnegie Steel Company. This new steel company was just the spark of many new inventions and creations to help benefit the economic system of the United States.
After working both a messenger and telegraph operator, Carnegie was promoted to superintendent of the Pennsylvania Railroad Company when he turned 24. Allegheny citizen Colonel James Anderson opened his library to young boys around the same time that Carnegie was working as superintendent. He took advantage of this library for many years and was mostly educated through reading. Andrew Carnegie also spent time working and investing in sleeping cars and oil. Thomas A. Scott, Carnegie's boss at Pennsylvania Railroad Company, helped to influence an investment that would help the future billionaire on his path to success. When Margaret and Andrew mortgaged their house, they obtained enough money to buy the shares in the company that Scott suggested. Carnegie founded the Keystone Bridge Company as time progressed and later resigned. By 1875, Andrew Carnegie brought his interests of ironworks, railroads, oilworks, etc. together. He opened his first steel plant in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and soon after bought Homestead Steelworks. All these components combined to help form Carnegie Steel in 1892.
Andrew Carnegie is a quintessential Gilded Age titan. He's an industrialist and a self-made man who started from nothing and created an empire in steel. Carnegie was born in Scotland to a working class and skilled laborer family. And his father ends up losing everything, and his family moves to the United States. At the forefront are the railroads. And steel is critical to the building of railroads. Carnegie recognizes this, and he saw an opportunity. By the end of his career, he had a monopoly on the production of steel in the United States. So by 1901, Andrew Carnegie is one of the richest men in the world.
Steel is an alloy of iron and other elements like carbon, and it is widely used in construction due to its strength and very low cost. Despite steel industry and production being around for quite some time, it wasn't until the 19th century that it was able to flourish. This was because of the technological advancements that made this type of production cheaper. On top of this, the quality of steel became greater, overall leading to the manufacturing of steel becoming a prominent industry in this time period. Steel manufacturing was the key innovation that advanced industrial development as a whole. Furnaces burned the impurities out of melted iron and converted it into steel. Soon after, railroads, which had iron rails, were quickly replaced with steel rails because it was a lot cheaper, stronger, and more durable. Between 1880 and the turn of the century, American steel production grew from 1.25 million tons a year to more than 10 million tons. The minds of the great inventors, Andrew Carnegie being a leading force, immensely contributed to steel helping to fuel the accelerated growth of American cities, railroads, bridges, and factories. Due to the uprise of steel production, bridges were able to be built that spanned the Mississippi. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania became the main steel location in the country. At the same time of the steel industry boom, the country was flourishing due to the economy being in a great place.
Steel became the world's largest industrial corporation. The importance of the steel industry shows when steel soared from 13,000 tons in 1860 to 28 million tons in the first decade of the 20th century. The most significant technological advancement came in steel manufacturing. Major steel districts were located in Pittsburgh, PA, which is considered the heart of steel. Ohio and Alabama were in second and third. The discovery and abundance of steel led to the creation of new inventions, such as the steel tip plow that provided productivity to farmers, and threshers, which resulted in access to the new sources of power. Railroads replaced iron rails with steel because it was lighter, stronger, and more durable than iron. Steel became the major building block of the industry, furnishing graders and cables to try and construct manufacturing plants and office structures, such as buildings, machinery, and bridges. The impact of steel led to the railroad expansion and the national market, which is considered the first big business.